Something many sleep channels never tell you is that relaxation and quieting your mind doesn't make you fall asleep unless certain biological check boxes are ticked. This is why you can have nights where even your favorite and most effective sleep story just doesn't work. There are three things all brains need before you can easily fall asleep. Firstly, and most importantly, your brain needs to have built up enough sleep pressure. From the minute you wake up, sleep pressure starts to build. This is the biological drive to sleep that increases the longer you've been awake. Think of it like filling a water butt with water from the minute you wake up and being unable to fall asleep at night until the water butt is filled to the top. Anytime you take an extended nap or sleep during the day, this is like opening the tap, emptying some of the water out of the butt, meaning that you now need to stay awake longer to fill the butt to the top. Or if you wake up late, then not enough time may have elapsed by the time you try to go to bed for you to fall asleep. Once you do fall asleep, this is like opening the tap on the water butt. The water drains out overnight so that you start the next day with an empty butt ready to be filled again. Secondly, your body clock has to be signaling to you that it's the correct time to sleep. You have a roughly 24-hour circadian rhythm. This gets reset every day with daylight to make sure that it doesn't drift over time. A bit like how an old analog clock which requires winding up would have to frequently be checked against a known accurate clock, as they would drift over time. This reset happens by getting high doses of blue-rich light. Going outside first thing in the morning tells your body clock that the day has started. Getting this light soon after waking helps the stability of this clock. Daylight tells your brain to stay awake. It creates a signal which blocks the production and release of melatonin. This helps you feel awake and alert during the day. Darkness does the opposite. As light levels fall, your pineal gland kicks back into the production and release of melatonin, which builds up to a point where it communicates that it's now night time. Bright lights and screens being used in the evening can interrupt the production and build-up of melatonin, making it take longer to reach the point where it's communicating that it's nighttime now and switching your brain into nighttime mode. One way to look at it is that sleep pressure is like being thirsty. As time passes, you get more and more thirsty. You don't notice at first because you can go a certain length of time before feeling the need to have a drink, in the same way that you can go a good period of time before feeling tired. However, the thirstier you become, the stronger the drive to drink. So the more sleepy you become, the stronger the desire to sleep. Melatonin is more like filling a bucket with a small hole in it, with water from a tap. Once you're in a dimly lit environment, the tap turns on and the bucket begins to fill with water at a pace faster than it's draining through the hole. Once the bucket is full, it remains full. It can't become more full. The bucket being full signals that it's now nighttime. It remains full until the morning, when the light levels begin to increase. At this point, the tap turns off and the bucket quickly begins to drain, and you begin to feel more wakeful again. Sleep pressure answers the question, how much does my brain need to sleep? The circadian rhythm answers the question, is it time to sleep? And finally, your brain needs to be in a low arousal state to support the onset of sleep. If it's in survival mode, focusing on anxiety, anger, or any other high emotion, or if it is stimulated by pain or the body being uncomfortable or too warm or too cold, or stimulated perhaps by light or sound, then this can prevent the onset of sleep, as well as disrupting sleep and sleep quality when you do finally fall asleep. Sleep stories, meditations, guided hypnosis tracks, or any other similar sleep aids can only help with the third point and are best used when paired with positive sleep hygiene practices. They can support the brain's journey into a low arousal state, but if you haven't built up enough sleep pressure and your body clock isn't communicating that it's time to sleep, then you'll likely remain awake. Sleep is an emergent state. You can't just decide to sleep and then sleep. It requires the right conditions to be present, with competing systems that maintain wakefulness to no longer be dominant. Achieving sleep involves removing obstacles, reducing arousal, and developing the conditions in which the brain's own sleep systems can take over. What's important to be aware of is that the most significant driver of these for sleep is the sleep pressure. If you are tired enough, it could be any time of the day or night, at any stage in your circadian rhythm, and even in a high arousal state, and you may just fall asleep regardless. Without enough sleep pressure, no amount of being relaxed will lead to sleep. Second most important is the circadian rhythm. If this is aligned well, then you'll feel most awake during the day and ready to sleep at the right time at night. Thirdly is the low arousal state, supporting the onset of sleep. This will help you to fall asleep quickly and sleep well through the night. If you want to maximize the effectiveness of sleep content, aim to get outside in daylight for at least 20 to 30 minutes within the first hour or two of waking or after the sun has risen. A little longer if it's very overcast and in winter when light intensity is lower. Get outside as often as you can during the day to help keep you feeling alert and to help improve your sleep at night. Aim to wake up about 15 to 17 hours before the time you want to go to bed. Generally, you need about this many wakeful hours to have built up enough sleep pressure to fall asleep. If you nap or sleep during the day, add the length of the nap or sleep onto the end of the 15 to 17 hours of being awake before bedtime. A few hours before bed, dim the lights and reduce stimulation. A couple of hours before bed, reduce screen use. Just before bed, a hot bath or shower can help you sleep. Make sure your sleeping space is comfortable, dark, and has minimal distractions like lights or sounds, and writing down anything on your mind can also help.